I just want to make a little follow-up to the video I just made about visualising a dog's experience of scent, but doing it, as I say, with the eyes and perhaps with the ears. So as a dog walks through this world that's completely saturated with the social occupation of those spaces by other dogs, you know, which she occasionally turns her attention to like that, using her nose to track history. You know, I just think it'd be nice if we could do that. But in a sense we already do, I was thinking. I mean, I'd like a more enhanced, technologically enhanced version of it. But in a way we do, you know, I mean, that's what paths are. I'm not actually on a path right now, not a genuine one. But, you know, a path is the history of its occupation by other people with feet, isn't it, really? That's what they are. I guess if you're an expert, a tracker, you know, you can kind of zoom in, you know, and attend to a particular moment in the path. In this particular case, the occupation of this path by a tractor. But I suppose if you were really good at this, you could find heel prints and tell whether that was a Dr. Martin boot or a stiletto heel or a, I don't know, a pair of hush puppies or loafers or something like that. And you might be able to say something about the way that their weight is distributed, whether they've got a limp or not, you know, that kind of stuff, whether they were walking next to someone, whether they were walking by themselves, whether they were running. So you would be able to get quite a bit of history to build up a picture of that person. So I guess I'm just saying it's not as completely outside of our realm of our experience as perhaps I initially thought. But I would like a technological version of it. You know, getting down on your hands and knees and being a tracker is just too much like hard work. You know, I'd prefer it if, whilst I'm walking, you know, maybe there's just like a thin thread representing its individual occupation. A thin, like a little thread of very faint light. Lots of threads all across this field, but every now and then the thread just kind of glows a little bit more brighter for some of its length, or two threads run in parallel and glow together, and those bits would attract my attention, and those are the bits that I attend to. And as I attend, they just kind of, you know, I wouldn't have to do the conscious expertise thing of looking at heel prints. I would just attend to it, and the original occupation would kind of just expand out of it experientially. So I would just see the person, and the more I attended to it, the more I would see them and hear them. Know what I mean? That makes sense. And now Phoebe's chewing a stick. She loves chewing sticks. Oh. Look at the way she holds it so delicately in her front paws. Isn't that beautiful? How she does that. She had an opposable thumb, she'd take over the world. What are you, Phoebes? I did a video last week called Walking with Ghosts, and I was talking about, you know, what it would be like to, if our visual sense, the visual world that we walk through, was as saturated with history in the way that I suspect a dog's olfactory world is. You know, because a dog walks through the world and its primary sense is its nose, its smell, sense of smell, its olfaction. So it's walking through this, like my dog right now, Phoebe for example, is walking through a world that's as rich in its she's taking a bit, in its ability to access smell as ours is visually, you know. But smell has a lot of history to it in a way that vision doesn't. So she's smelling things that have been here in the past, possibly quite a long way in the past, particularly other dogs and other animals, but I don't know, all kinds of other things too, to do with history. Now she's eating something. Yeah, as I say, I was interested in what it would be like if there was a visual analogue for that, and my suggestion was that it would be a bit like walking through a world of ghosts, particularly if we limited ourselves to just human history. Perhaps animal history, you know. So as I walk through this field, there's slight traces of other people who've walked past here before, you know, on my own occupation of this field indeed. And if I attend to that in the way that Phoebe like attends to a smell, then I could bring that past into sharper focus. So I would see an image solidify and maybe start to hear what was said by that person when they were here at a certain point in the past, or by myself at a certain point in the past. But yeah, that's just that really, bring up to speed. But go on, please. But what I've been thinking is you can already do that, I think. I'm pretty sure you can already do that. I mean, certainly you can GPS tag videos, and I've done that with a few of my videos, and I've done some bits of things on Google Earth, embedding videos onto Google Earth, which effectively GPS tags them, so that information is held there somewhere out in the cloud somewhere. And a lot of smartphones and yeah, these kind of things are GPS enabled, aren't they? Really? So I'd be really surprised if there isn't an app out there already which takes the GPS readings of wherever the smart device is, compares it to a database of GPS enabled, of GPS tagged videos or images at very least, and allows you to access them, you know. I mean, that's something that would be really obvious for something like the heritage industry. You know, if you're looking around an old castle, let's say, you've got your GPS, your Android phone with GPS in it, you get to a certain point, I would guess, and you know, the image on the phone comes up, or it beeps or something like that to say you've got it, to say there's a video or an image somewhere which GPS coordinates which correspond to your location, and then you can just look at that, and that would be kind of like it, wouldn't it? You know, I haven't got a smartphone, I've got an old Sony Ericsson, but if I did, you know, I'd be walking through this field like this, with my GPS enabled smartphone, and I'll get to about here, and in my imagination at least, it would be in constant connection. I would see a tiny little image in the middle to say I'm near it, and as I approach the exact location, it would grow until it fills the screen, and then I can start to play it, and there it is, it's me. A year ago in this very place, or 2 years ago, 3 years ago in this very place. In fact, I think it was in this very field 3 years ago, when I first started making YouTube videos. And there I am talking about the feeling of a place or something. That's what I was talking about. You know what I mean? And as I walk on, it gets smaller, so it's being left behind because it's over there. And I might pick up on somebody else, see what they're doing. So this would be my ghost detector. I'm just catching these ghosts. There's a ghost dog. Ghost dog on my screen. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I'd love that. So as I say, it's probably available already actually. I'll have a look into it when I get home, because that technology must already be there, and if it is, I'll see if I can find a way of exploiting it. It's the last little video on the Walking with Ghosts, a couple of videos I've made recently. Because I was talking about in the last one, which you probably just watched because I'm going to do this in the YouTube video editor. I was just speculating on this, the likely existence of an app for smartphones which allows you to watch videos in the sites at which they were originally shot. If you're interested, I've made a kind of Google Map application. What's it called? I've made a Google Map. Yeah. I've located a lot of the videos that I made on a place called the Salt Line, which is a disused railway line near where I spent some time. And I've put a lot of the videos on that. So I'll put a link in the description box to this video. And I guess if you ever come to Cheshire and you have a smartphone, there's probably a way of walking up and down that disused railway line and watching some really old videos of me talking about stuff. Thanks very much.